Good morning, Maura. It's Sunday, and since we're both sick this week, I'm going to talk today about what to do when you get sick in college. First of all, if you're going to get sick, it helps not to have out-of-state travel or midterms during the week that you do so. Both of us have already failed at this portion of the task already, as you can tell from my beautiful, stylish travel pillow. Okay, so the first time you get sick in college, it's awful, and it usually happens right around this time. I remember when I was an RA, everyone was getting sick this time of year, and lo and behold, it happens even once you're already out of college. 'Tis the season, so if you haven't done it yet, get your flu shot. This is something you can do at your university health center. You can call ahead and schedule an appointment. Also, on some days they have walk-in or drop-in hours when you can just stop by anytime, get your flu shot in 5 or 10 minutes, and then you're good. However, since both of us are actually already sick today, let's talk about what to do once those preventative measures have failed and you've got sick anyway. Number 1. Don't go to class. Like, professors are serious when they say they don't want you to go to class if you're sick, because if you do, you'll get everyone else around you sick, and then they'll miss more class. Better to just miss the one class now, rest and recover, and then go back to class later when you're feeling refreshed and ready. Even if you have an exam or something important that day, you can usually email your professor, let them know you won't be there, and sort something out for a makeup exam. This was something I had to do once while I was in college, and it worked out okay. However, if you're planning to do something like this, you'll need to call your student health center as well and make sure that you can get some doctor's note or nurse's note or some equivalent documentation that you actually were sick, especially the kind of documentation you can procure without having to leave your bed. Very important. Number 2. Reach out to others to help you. Okay, so if you're anything like me in my freshman year of college, you probably don't have like a ready-to-go supply of medicine for when you get sick, and that's something you should get, but once you're already sick, it's a little bit late to, so we're going to talk about where you can get those things from. Obviously, if your roommate has a stash of her own, she's a great person to go to if you're on good terms like that. But perhaps even better is your RA, who is pretty much guaranteed to have all the stuff you could ever possibly need, and once they give it to you, they can probably get reimbursed to replace it at the university's expense. Anyway, we mentioned earlier the idea of emailing your professors if you're going to be sick for a big test. This is also a good idea just to do if you're going to be sick for their class in general. They'll really appreciate it, and even if there's a pop quiz that day, you'll be taken care of. But once you've reached out to those professors and confirmed that you won't be attending class that day, you should also text your friends to make sure they can take good notes for you and pick up any copies of materials that are distributed during the class session. Once you've taken care of all that stuff, number 3, take care of yourself. Let's face it, sometimes we don't do this enough and we need a reminder. Okay, so how can you take care of yourself? Well, as a California girl in Chicago, you're gonna need to stay pretty warm. I mean, I'm just in New York and here I am rocking the Jane hat. Pretty cunning, don't you think? Drinking lots of water is also really important when you're sick. Don't forget to do that. You can also go for some sort of electrolyte-boosted drink or something with like a vitamin C supplement in it or just plain old orange juice, but personally I'm a fan of straight-up water. However, if you're having some kind of sore throat issue, in addition to cough drops and that usual sort of stuff, I would opt for warm water instead of cold, or even weak tea, but make sure you infuse a lot of honey into it. And whatever it is you decide to drink lots of it. Staying hydrated while you're sick is one of the most important ways you can help your body recover. Depending on what it is you're sick with, you may want to eat, but sometimes you just really won't feel up to eating, and that's okay. In particular, you may not feel up to eating dining hall food when you're sick, which I completely understand. This is why you should try to keep a stash of saltine crackers on hand for future times when you get sick. The most important thing you can do, though, to care for yourself while you're sick is to just relax. Don't worry too much about all the various things that you have to get done. They'll get done eventually, but they won't get done any faster if you make yourself sicker by trying to get them done right now. Of course, if you're feeling up to getting some work done, by all means go ahead. Do some reading for one of your classes, or answer some emails that you've needed to catch up on. Maybe even write an outline for a paper if you're feeling really optimistic. I mean, who am I to tell you not to get work done while you're sick? I'm here making a YouTube video. But I won't be making one for long. Today's video is going to be a short one. After all, I need to take my own advice and get some rest so that I'll be good to go tomorrow. I know this has been a really stressful week for you, and I'm sorry that you managed to get sick right during midterms. As soon as I see you again, I'd love to hear about how those midterms went, as well as anything else you might want to talk about. Feel better, Maura? I'll see you soon. Alright, I'm going back to bed.